Daddy! Hello, Daddy. I'm
What do
back.
you want, Angora?
Well, we were having our mentorship meetings and
Oh, don't you
I
see
think
I'm
it's,
busy? I don't have time for you today.
well, I thought we could talk about the shop a little bit.
Angora, I know the shop needs more money. I'll think about it. But for right now, I just don't have time for you.
Well, I do have something I think you would be very interested in.
Hello, Mr. Snoot. Patricia Coverly from the Shelter Place Times Gazette Planet.
From the paper?
Excuse me?
Yes, I have a couple of questions I'd like to ask you to do a profile on you, share a little bit more about Oliver Snoot with our
We
readers.
were in the middle of something.
Angora, I need to talk to this young lady. Please go away. I'll speak with you tonight.
All right, I'll be over.
Now, I'm sorry, what is your name again, young lady?
Patricia Coverly with the Shelter Place Times Gazette Planet.
Well, I have a few moments to give you, but no more than that.
Wonderful, that's all we need. Now, Mr. Snoot, we are, of course, doing a profile on the prominent citizens of Shelter Place to really make sure that our readers understand who the first citizens of Shelter Place really are. And so I'd love to get a couple of questions, a little bit about you. Everyone knows, of course, about the Snoot family fortune, how it grew, where you come from, and really it's the American dream told in one family, a true bootstrap story about you pulling yourselves up. Please, would you share with me once again, how did the Snoot family become so successful?
Well, it all started with my great-great-grandfather, Hezekiah Snoot, who came over from Norway in 1853 during the Great Cauliflower Blight.
Now, Mr. Snoot, the mayor has been saying around town that the Snoot family is a bunch of Swedes.
Swedes? Leave it to the mayor. I'm sure he's bandying that rumor about just to insult us. No, we are Norwegians, not Swedes. You'd be able to tell if we were Swedes by the smell of lutefisk that you'd be able to smell as soon as you entered any room with us. We are Norwegians.
Of course, of course. So your great-grandfather came over, as many immigrants did.
Correct. He sailed into New York Harbor, and rather than get a standard laboring job, he found work smuggling during the Civil War, created his first small fortune, which he then parlayed into more money afterwards by hiring buffalo hunters. And that was the first product that Snoots became known for. He used the hooves to make buffa glue, one of the more popular products back in the 1870s.
Oh my goodness, buffa glue. My grandmother used to use buffa glue for everything. What household doesn't have a jar of buffa glue in their drawers?
Of course. He didn't want to waste the entire buffalo, so he used several small bones in the inner ears to create snoot picks, which are less common nowadays, but quite popular in their day.
Yes, I know people think it's old-fashioned, but I still carry a snoot pick with me wherever I go.
Well, that's very nice, young lady. From there, we went into investments and a lot of successful corporate takeovers, and now we've become one of the largest companies in the world.
Like I said, truly the American dream, about a family that started with nothing, raised themselves up from their bootstraps and really pulled it together. And you, of course, Oliver Snoot, being a man who comes from this family, but I know that you built your fortune from nothing as well. You truly took the initiative and was an entrepreneur here in Shelter Place.
That's correct. I own many businesses in town. Restaurants, movie theaters, the bank. What was your name again? I'm sorry.
Patricia Coverly.
Thank you. Yes. Well, I'm surprised. Your newspaper is one of the few things I don't own, but I do own the grocery store, and now I own the building that the fire department was housed in.
Well, tell me, Mr. Snoot, since you do own all these businesses around town, tell me about Angora's shop, your daughter. The work that she does there, it seems the financials might not be as strong as some of your other investments.
Oh, Angora's shop. It's It's as though a tornado hit a carnival and blew all the clothing into a small building. No one in town shops there, but she's my daughter, so I humor her and keep the business afloat.
Hmm. Well, you know what they say, sometimes the business gene doesn't pass down, or sometimes it goes to an entirely different child altogether.
Well, she's my only child, so
Hmm.
I certainly hope she catches on someday.
Indeed. Now, Mr. Snoot, I know that you've had a lot of very strong business dealings across the country, really. I'm curious to ask you about one particular in the year 1983. I was March 1983 in Deerfield, Kansas.
Well, Pamela, I believe in 1983, I was looking into Deerfield. There was a legal firm in Deerfield that specialized in funneling small fortunes of money toward more flexible government officials in foreign countries. And I was attempting to do business with one of those larger firms.
It's Patricia.
Oh,
And of
right.
course, that makes sense. You know, when you were there in Deerfield, many people would want to know what you did in your free time. You know,
My free
it's always
time.
important that we understand the full picture of who Oliver Snoot is. Maybe here in Shelter Place, you'd be seen with a woman about town, or even a man, who knows?
Excuse me, I'm sorry, Letitia, but
Patricia.
Patricia, that's, I'm terribly sorry.
Hmm.
I'm not sure exactly what type of interview this is going to be. You're asking an awful lot of questions. This is for the business page or the front page?
As a matter of fact, I write exclusively for the page 6.
The society column?
Well, it's quite a respectable place for a journalist such as myself. I have worked quite hard and built up my reputation from the very beginning.
Please take no offense. I suppose the society column has to have a writer as well. So you worm your way into the businesses and offices of Shelter Place's leading citizens and ask personal questions. Is that your job?
Very well put, Mr. Snoot. Thank you.
That could be useful. Patricia, perhaps I should get to know you a little better. How would you like to have lunch with me today?
Oh, well, I've been waiting to hear you say that my whole life. I mean, I would love to have lunch with you, be able to discuss further how we might be able to help one another.
Well, I have a standing table at the country club. Shall we leave right now? We'll beat the lunch rush for today.
Of course. Let's go.
All right then.
Hello? Wait, you're not the bounding capybara.
No, I'm not. The bounding capybara had to be reassigned, so they sent me. They call me number 2. Not to be mistaken for the action, you know? I'm right behind capybara. Anyway.
They reassigned capybara. I requested him specifically. It was very important to the situation I'm in.
Well, I didn't get a briefing too much, so would you care to fill me in?
All right, well, let's get on with it. Mr. Number 2, hopefully the services you can provide are not also, shall we say, number 2.
Oh, if I had a dime every time.
Hold on a second. I contacted the capybara personally, and now you're here. Who sent you anyways?
Oh, well, the MUC, or Mercenary University Community College of Croatia.
Croatia is a mercenary university?
Oh, yes, we're the best. They had campuses all over the world, including a place called Oregon. Isn't that weird?
Well, I did not know that. Anyways, I trust you provide nothing but top-notch skills.
Oh, yes. Yes, I do. I'm trained in jujitsu and professional poker.
Hmm. Professional poker.
Yes.
Has anybody ever told you that they can't read your poker face?
No, Lady Gaga.
Right. I bet you got that one before, buddy.
I've heard it many times.
Well, what other skills do you have in this situation?
Well, I'm a notary public.
Hmm.
I'm also a barber.
Oh, well, that's definitely useful. You can apply that trade wherever you go.
Yes. I'm also a certified public accountant through a university up in New York. It's called Trump University.
Oh, I've heard that is a very, very troubled institution.
So I have to tell you, I never worked as a CPA.
Well, anyways, okay, clearly your credentials are in order. Now let me tell you what's going on.
Okay.
A tragedy has struck.
Mm.
My whole world, my precious, precious, innocent daughter has been kidnapped. And kidnapped by a very ruthless, violent thug. You ever heard of a man called Ice Pick Reginald?
Ice Pick Reginald.
Yes.
Really? In
The
fact,
very
yeah, he
same.
comes from Muck. We're all assignments like that.
Oh. Well, how do I know you're not going to try to kidnap my daughter too? Clearly,
Well-
you guys have no sides, no morals.
That's kind of interesting because I just spoke to Ice Pick not too long ago. He's been assigned in the Far East, nowhere near this area. That's interesting.
I have it on very good intel that a ice pick was found at the scene of the crime. I mean, it has to be Ice Pick Reginald, right? Because there's only like one ice pick in the entire world, right? So it's clearly him.
I mean, yeah.
The logic is sound.
Who told you this about Ice Pick?
Some bell-bottom wearing, monkeys listening, the monkeys, of course, hippie named Bobby, some like layabout, always, living off the government and, protesting Vietnam.
Right. Sure. In 2020. He's a little late.
Yes, well, I'm sure if there was such a thing as a time machine, he would go back to the 60s just so he could draft dodge Vietnam.
You know what I'd do if I have a time machine? Go back and change the ending of Dexter.
Yes, what a trash last half of a TV show,
I know,
right?
right? God.
Right, his sister is so whiny. I mean, come on. I mean, how many
Towards
times
the end, that's all I heard was whine. Anyway.
Yes, anyways, enough about Dexter. Can you get my daughter back?
Yes, I can.
How are you going to do it?
Well, one, if it's the bounding Calpabera, if it's Ice Pick Reginald, there we go, then I've got one way of getting him around, if it is him. I'm in a notary public. I also have done many notaries on divorce papers. I know how to get to him. I can mimic some divorce papers from his wife, pull at his heartstrings a little bit, and I'll free up Natalie. While he's in pain, we're out the door. That's
Would you
one
say,
way.
since you're a notary public, you could notarize Ice Pick Reginald's death certificate?
Well, I'm sure there's a will, there's a way.
I like you, young man.
I like you, Mr. McConnell. I'll
think
get
this
your
is
daughter
going to be-
back.
This is going to be the beginning of a very beautiful relationship. You may pick whatever your service fee is if you can get my daughter back.
You got it. Until next time, I guess I'll go to that jazz place.
Yes,
The crib,
knock some
right?
sense into that Bobby while you're at it.
All right. Well, until next time, I'll be off.
Hey guys, Owen Snoot here from Owen Snoot Realty. Are you tired of the 9-to-5 grind? Eating lunch at your desk? Spending your days doing whatever the man says? Wouldn't you rather wake up at 10 and take your business meetings in places like this? Well, the life of a small business entrepreneur might be closer than you think. Thanks to the recent hospital fire, Snoot Realty has several heavily discounted small business lease opportunities that could be perfect for helping you realize your tycoon dreams. Here's a lovely spot for a restaurant or nightclub. Note the open floor plan and exposed brick accents. There's even plenty of room for a small band and dance floor. Close your eyes and visualize yourself working the room like Humphrey Bogart in Casablanca. Here's a spot for your glamorous new boutique, and the price has never been lower. The natural light pouring in from the recently expanded storefront with its distinctive distressed pillars, the beautiful abstract design on the open roof beam ceiling, and the open floor plan give this spot a distinctive flair. It's perfect for the business owner with an eye for luxury. Just imagine what you could do with all the natural light in this newly available small factory space. Or with the exposed brick windows and organic skylight in this location. Close your eyes and imagine yourself opening the doors to your happy customers. So give me a call, Owen Snoot at Owen Snoot Realty. We'll have a few drinks and knock out a deal. Remember, at Owen Snoot Realty, we make dreams come true.
Oh, Maggie.
Laura, I'm coming to see you in your shop. What is wrong, dear?
Excuse me. I'm sorry for getting emotional. I'm fine. I haven't taken all of my Xanax today.
Obviously. Now, what's wrong, my dear?
Well, it's Daddy. You told me to try and get information from him, and I came to him with some really good something, and he wouldn't even listen to me, and this beautiful blonde reporter just waltzed in there and took over the whole meeting, and they kicked me out. I couldn't believe it.
A reporter, you say? What do
Some
you want?
Pamela Waverly or something like that. I don't know. She was just all goo-goo-eyed for Daddy. I'm sure she's some kind of loose woman looking for some kind of payout.
Dear, you make up such things in your head. You need to calm down. Tell me what's really wrong.
I am trying to get him to listen to me because I finally found on something important. I finally found something he might actually care about, and he completely dismissed me. It's so rude.
And what
And
is
I
it?
can't believe he did it while he was wearing that tie, too.
Oh, child. Think about the real things in life. What information did you find? Tell me. I can
Well,
help you.
it has to do with the fire the other night.
Really? What about the fire?
What do you care?
Oh, I care about you very much, Angora. After all, you gave me this precious outfit for Madeline here. She adores it.
She
So?
does look fabulous.
Yes, she
And
does.
I am a sucker for a matching set.
Of course. So, this information.
Let's just say this story that the mayor is spreading around town about Natalie being kidnapped is complete baloney.
Really? And you said you tried to take this to your father and tell him?
Well, I was going to, but
Don't.
no.
Don't blow your wad now. You have information that you can use to your favor. Don't just give it up without getting something in return.
Well, I do need an allowance increase.
Dear, money can be gotten from all sorts of avenues. Think bigger.
I wonder what the mayor would think about this information.
Now you're starting to get my drift. And think about what you want from your father. I'm sure he has things that you need, want, cherish, maybe.
Well, I mean, Daddy doesn't want me around. He's not really interested in anything that I have to offer. Maybe I should just be done with him.
I wouldn't think of that so quickly. He has things that you need. And more than just money.
It's just been a little lonesome without Mother around.
Oh dear, I know. It's just terrible. But don't worry about that now. Worry about what you can get with this information. Go forth, think about it. Come back to me when you know more.
I don't understand.
Of course you don't. That's why I'm giving you time. Go, think about it. Do something. Come on. Use that brain of yours.
You think I have a brain?
Well, of course. You wouldn't have been able to finagle so much money out of your father if you didn't have a little bit of a brain. You did.
I guess I did, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
Well, thank you, Maggie. I will talk to you soon.
Yeah. In due time. Goodbye.